There isn't a quick answer as to whether you should have to pay a parking ticket past a Debt Recover Plus Limited, and I'll run through why now. The first thing you need to establish is if the parking ticket belongs to you. Mistakes can be made even with CCTV and ANPR. So does the fine belong to you, and is there proof that it belongs to you? There are also various loopholes when it comes to appealing parking tickets that you might be able to exploit, like the 10-minute grace period, for example. Let's say that your ticket expires at midday. Technically, you've got up to 12:10 to get back to your car before you can be issued a ticket. Unclear signs or extreme emergency situations are other ways to appeal your fine. One thing to bear in mind is that there is a time frame to appeal your ticket, which is normally 28 days. All the details should be clear on your ticket, and it should also tell you which company issued your parking ticket. It's best not to ignore DRP. If you do, they could apply for a county court judgment that would force you to pay and affect your credit rating. This could make it hard for you to get loans, mortgages, and credit cards. The moment that you show willing and come to an agreement to pay the money, they should leave you alone. Only pay what you can afford though, and be upfront about your finances. Remember that debt collectors aren't the same as bailiffs and don't have the same rights. You don't need to open the door to them. Tell them that you'll communicate by phone or email and they should go away. If you've decided to pay, there are lots of different ways to go about it, like PayPal, your debit card, and they even have an online portal that you can use anytime. If it isn't that simple and you found yourself in financial difficulties, then don't worry, there are options available. There are several debt solutions in the UK that help people that are struggling with debt and get on top of their finances. They're not all appropriate for everyone, and each one has pros and cons, but they're well worth a listen if you want to tackle your debt. First up, debt management plans. They're an informal agreement that you make with the creditors to pay back your debts at a lower and more affordable rate. Normally that means paying less each month, but over a longer time frame. The catch is that you can't include all your debts in a debt management plan. Next is debt relief orders, and they freeze your debt payments for a full year, and if your situation hasn't changed after 12 months and the debt's written off, you make no payments towards the debt in 12 months and interest isn't added. Pretty good, right? There is a strict eligibility criteria though. Another option is offering a final settlement, and if you happen to have access to a large lump sum, you can offer that to the debt collectors or the creditors they work for. It might not be for the full amount, but sometimes they'll be willing to write off any remaining debt because you'll be saving them the time chasing you down for payments each month. They could say no though. Individual voluntary arrangements are another way to deal with debt collectors. It's a formal agreement between you and your creditors to reduce your payments to one simple payment each month. It lasts for 5 years, and at the end, any remaining debt is written off. Bankruptcy is probably the most famous option, and you may already know, but with bankruptcy, all your assets are reviewed and some may be sold off to pay back your debt. After a year, any remaining debt will be written off. Paying back your debts, whether in full or using a method that I mentioned earlier, will ensure that you keep the debt collectors at bay. One simple step that you could take today is to find out if any of those debt solutions that I mentioned could work for you. In the description of this video, I've linked to a form on my new website, and it's got a few multiple choice questions like how much debt do you owe and how many people do you owe. At the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with to provide you with all the information that you need about debt solutions that are available. So click the link in the description, go and check it out, and let me know how you get on.